Disappointed with the result here today to close that gap to league leaders in Arsenal. Someone would be extremely disappointed as well this weekend. A certain Jurgen Klopp probably isn't getting any sleep at the moment. What exactly is going on? This capitulation of the Reds, who were just champions of Premier League just a couple of years ago, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how far they've dropped off. Jurgen Klopp looks upset on the bench. He looks like they've kind of lost of ideas and a little bit of hope, and the team is just not performing and not picking themselves up. I think there's been a lack of investment. We know that. We talked about players that they need to come in and help the players. I think it's a little bit aged, the group now. They've had that same side for a long period of time.
Is it a full-blown crisis at the moment?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, look,
the worst of the worst Liverpool side, I mean, performance-wise, under Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not great, of course. They're not happy with how it's going, and it's a bit of a crisis, of course, but I think there's things there that need to be addressed. But let's not forget how good they've been over the last 4 or 5 seasons. You know, you have one bad season and it's not going your way. It's not a full-blown crisis. Lack of investment.
The drop-off, though, is...
It's a huge change. It's a huge disappointment. Obviously, I watched Wolves in the FA Cup a couple of times against them, did quite well. And then I'm thinking, this is going to be a tough game for them. Yeah. They made changes in the Cup to go through. And then on this game, after losing to Brighton as well, it's a real disappointment. Looking for a reaction to go and lose like that. It's a real disappointing performance. Yet again, the confidence is so low. You talk about recruitment investment. It's the midfield area which has been questioned. Yeah. Who's going to sign? Who's going to be that marquee midfield player? They've still got some good midfielders. Some of them are running slightly aged, as you would say. Yeah. But a wonderful group of players still. Cody Gakpo spending money in the January window. He's coming at the wrong time. They just seem really shot on confidence this side, and everyone's capitalising on it. And how is he going to change it? How is he going to get the best out of him? There's mentions of transition. It's a change in what happens, of being relentless. We're talking about Manchester City here. That's Manchester City and Liverpool for 3 or 4 seasons have been remarkable right at the top. The workload, the demands, what they've had to go through, no rest. And it's been mentioned about these... about coronavirus, about how they had the gaps, then there's lack of pre-season training, then the World Cup again. They've just been at it for such a long period of time, and I do think it's affected some of these teams because of it.
But what can be made, what changes can be made in the summer, particularly at the moment? It seems like they're not going to be in the Champions League. Someone like Jude Bellingham is going to be looking at that and having second thoughts. He's the one most heavily linked to Liverpool at the moment.
I just don't think Liverpool can get Jude Bellingham. I know they keep talking about it, and maybe last season when they're fighting on all fronts to win things, yes. But not now. I mean, why would Jude Bellingham go there? He's going to be, you know, he can pick of all the top 5, 6 football clubs in the world that would want him in their football team and would invest in him and pay a lot of money to have him. If Liverpool are not in the Champions League and they're playing the way they are, forget Jude Bellingham. He's not signing for Liverpool Football Club. I don't care what you try and offer him. I don't care what you try and give his dad, you know, and get him in the ground. And
the start of the season,
he ain't happening.
The start of the season, it was Jude Bellingham. The deal's done. Liverpool, 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 and then gradually it has just fell away. It's been linked to Manchester City. Real Madrid have come out in such a heavy way. Yeah. That's the talk at the moment, that they think that could be the favourite for him to go there. So this would be a wonderful signing for anybody, wouldn't it? But you talk about what can they do. They could look at signings, they look at recruitment. Over the last few seasons, generally they've gone and bought a goalkeeper. Has made a big difference. Brought Van Dijk, you know, and they make big key marquee signings. So is there a couple of signings available for them in the summer? Yeah. But I do feel a long gap of football is needed for a lot of these players.